Okay, Keri, find a seat.
I'm seated.
You're seated.
Yes.
So, let's begin.
Yes. Guys, hello. Welcome to Friday Live.
And what we're going to be discussing today?
Today we are going to be talking about the interesting facts on American people for April.
Interesting facts.
Yes.
And there's a lot of them. This is going to be a cool segment, guys, because I think one of the things is we compiled some of the latest data on a bunch of topics, which are both, I guess there's some humorous ones, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There are some humorous ones for April. There's also some very, like, the state of the economy, what people are feeling, sentiments. And we got some really good data now. We came across, I forget the name of the site, but I'll put it somewhere at some point. But it's really interesting stuff, to say the least, about where things are going as far as, let me take this off, where things are going as far as, like, where people's minds are at in America, in the world we're living in now.
Yeah.
And that's, if anybody knows the way things are these days, nobody really kind of knows what side's up or down. No. And obviously we're on both platforms, so hello to the folks over on TikTok, and hello to the folks over on Facebook Live. So you'll see us, like, our eyes go up and down, and we'll try to read some comments. It's close enough now. Believe it or not, my eyesight's better from this distance than yours is. So if you have a question. But it's interesting facts because we compiled a few things, and I think to kick this off, it's a Friday. Yes. And one of the things I found interesting was this stat, and I realized the state of America when it comes to this one stat that I kind of like took a pause and says, geez, I'm really in the minority on this one. But go ahead, Keri, what's the first stat that, before we get into the darker stuff, this is a little bit more fun.
Starting it off.
Yeah, let's start off with the first stat that we came up with.
Yeah, so the first one is, how many alcoholic drinks do you consume per week on average for...
This is for Americans.
Yes.
How many, this was an interesting stat because it was like, do Americans really consume this much alcohol?
I guess so. I don't know.
Well, we learned about Keri's drinking habits, so.
Yeah, guys.
We won't add where your place is in the stat.
No.
But here's some of the interesting numbers, okay?
Yes.
So basically, most Americans, half of Americans drink at least 1 to 2 drinks, and much more than that in a given week. So based on 358,000 responses, it was quite, like, amazing to say that that's one of our biggest stats. Why is it that Americans are drinking at this rate?
Yeah.
And 7%, just picture this, between 5 and 10, and like I said, follow along with this because there's some interesting stats we're going to continue to go down. Mm-hmm. 5 to 10 drinks or 10 or more drinks is a combined 13%. So there are people who are seriously...
Yeah.
They're putting them down per week. So, like, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot. 6% of 10 or more. And I didn't realize this. And I'd like to go back. I wonder how this has changed over the since COVID, because...
This was pre-COVID?
No, this is we said it's for April, so it is for April.
Yes.
So 54% said they rarely or never drink. I'm in that category. I don't
really.
Yeah.
So that's 50%. So that's half of. Americans.
We're not talking about your friends now.
No. Yeah, no.
They skew the survey results. But anyway, the big thing is that. Americans are, I didn't realize how much they use alcohol to get through a week.
Yeah. I understand, like, a drink or 2 on the weekend.
Or 3 or 4. A glass of wine. Never hurt anybody.
No, it didn't.
But it's an interesting stat that so many people in America, it's like, Whoa. But, but that's the beginning of the fun stats. And I want to get to the other stat, which is where people, like the housing market itself, because we are a real estate company. Besides talking about drinking, I like to talk about housing.
Yes.
I guess they go hand in hand if you're in real estate. Drinking and selling houses.
Yeah.
A lot of agents want to drink these days, so it's. I bet you if you ask like by industry, if you had to break down alcohol use, I think the real estate industry is quite high on the threshold of getting through a week.
Yeah, you guys do it a lot. So
we do. I don't. I'm one of the ones that don't. I said the last time I drank was I think I had a wedding. It has to be a very, very special occasion. I think it was like a month and a half ago.
Oh,
so
that's good.
But the state of the real estate market in this month's report. So this is, again, we're reading stats that are coming from the latest report on consumer sentiment and what people in America kind of like talking about and dealing with currently. So is the home price trend concerning? What did the stats come out with?
So it says 28% are somewhat concerned.
Yes. And a whopping
57% is very concerned.
So basically 85% of everybody that's looking in the real estate world are 85% of Americans who were surveyed said that the home price trend is concerning or very concerning.
Yeah.
And that's the state of things, and we'll get into that in a minute with interest rates, because we did come across some of the reporting on like interest rates, like what's going on there. Mm-hmm. And to me, turn on. That's the name of somebody. Someone's watching. But people are concerned about like the home price trend, which has consistently been on the rise. We did the stats last month, I think, for Monmouth and Ocean County. They were up 6% in a single month. Mm-hmm. And the price acceleration seems to be continuing. I do think with rates coming up, people are definitely feeling the pinch. But I want to keep this moving along because we kind of talk a lot about that, and I don't want to be totally into. We know everybody's somewhat concerned or very concerned about housing prices. Obviously, you could weigh in on that. Mm-hmm. What's your take? If you have one, feel free to comment, because I think it's one of those things with the way the state of the world is everything costs more, mm-hmm. and one of them is being housing. So that's an interesting one.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So let's get into what's another stat that we think is going to work for other people. Give me something a little bit more amusing.
What about how often do the American people exercise?
Yes, guys, this is another stat we came across, and we're going to be doing more of these because these are consumer sentiment stats, and it's like this is one that shocked me as well.
Yes,
guys, get the numbers.
I know, I got to tell you guys.
Get the numbers.
So it says,
dude? Hey, what's going on, guys? She looks thrilled. She is thrilled.
I am.
We'll have to get her more excited. She has a. Maybe we have to get on the first part of this question. Maybe she has to have
what?
A shot before the.
Oh God. Yeah.
She's thrilled.
Then I will be
best Disney movie. Oh God, what's your best Disney movie?
My favorite Disney movie? Growing up, I loved Snow White. So, I'm a Snow White girl. But I guess, like...
Can't you tell?
Modern day.
She likes Taylor Swift.
I
so
love Taylor Swift, yes.
But, the big thing is that... So, just so you know, back and forth, we're going between TikTok and
Facebook.
And Facebook Live. So these platforms vary differently, so people are like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, but they're like, they may not be characterized by the same audience types and the same questions.
Yeah, no.
Facebook kind of like changes up.
Yeah, it's kind of
Older,
yeah.
conservative, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
it definitely is. But anyway, so how often do you exercise for the American people? Almost never is at 43%. And
guys, this is like an alarming stat.
it is.
That 43% of Americans who were surveyed, out of 2 million Americans,
Yes, 2 million.
2 million, 2 million
Almost
people,
never.
almost never exercise. 43%, which is absolutely or rarely exercise. Rarely, never.
Yeah, and I mean,
Well, how much? You're like almost like what, like 5 days a week?
I like to go at least 4 days a week, but 4 or 5 days a week.
She's trying to. I think most people try to do 3 to 5.
Yeah.
I think most people on a 3. I'd say 5. 3 days is probably. I vary depending on my schedule.
Yeah, you have.
I'm like
busy
sometimes I'm
schedule.
7 days a week, and sometimes I'm 5.
Yeah.
And some weeks I'm 3, and I'm not happy about those weeks.
Yeah, I mean it happens, you know.
Yeah,
Busy
life
that
happens.
week.
But would you guys like? I mean, what is the deal with this? Several times a month is 18%. Only 39% of people exercise several times a week,
Yeah.
and that's guys like.
And do you see people who answer several times a week are most likely to subscribe to a print newspaper? I wonder what the correlation is to that.
Who the heck? I don't even. What's a print newspaper? It's like reading it's like reading a tablet. It's like reading off a stone tablet.
Yeah, right?
They
I don't even
exist?
get newspaper delivered to my house anymore.
Is there
We
even
used
newspapers anymore?
I think there is.
Yeah. Do they still? I don't know
They're
if anybody
probably-
ever got. Does anybody get a newspaper anymore? But I
Probably
guess
is.
the thing is several times a week, which I would assume would be older generations go. So you're saying that what this is basically saying is that
That's what I was thinking.
yeah, they're likely to subscribe to a print newspaper, meaning it's probably older Americans that exercise
Yeah.
more than younger ones. Is there a percentage of people you know that don't exercise?
Honestly, all my friends exercise. Maybe there's a couple that
Does your
don't.
sister exercise?
Yes.
That's an
Yeah.
interesting stat. Because it would indicate that it's not so much younger people, but actually, I
Yeah.
mean, newspaper, I don't even read the newspaper.
No, I don't.
Print newspaper, to be specific.
Yeah, no.
But that's like one of the things that, like, I guess people, these are trends. Again, we're going through trends in America, like right now, what people are, like, where they're likely doing their some of their habits, and like breaking
Yeah.
this down so you guys can kind of understand like
Yeah.
where people are going with their habits as Americans,
Well-
and what they're really. We're going to get into some other more striking statistics about people's economic activity, because the economic activity. What's everybody's feeling? And I want to know from anybody out there, especially with all the people coming in. What's your feeling about about your financial situation? Because we're going to get into that, because that's one of the things that we're going to address.
Yeah.
This report, we have some data on like where people are feeling financially, like what's going on with them personally and their personal finances.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're going to get into next, because I'll get into this because we kind of,
Yeah.
So there is something that we did find some really big correlations between interest rates and financial health. And it's the consumer, and it's funny because this is a consumer-based study. So what's going on with consumers is like, this is like what regular people feel. It's not like a sentiment of like business leaders or like, economists and things like that. This is like what people, regular folks, are expressing in the survey. So one of the things was, what do people feel about their debt situation? And we found this to be one of the most closely correlated things dealing with the interest rates, and it's showing you, we've talked about this before, about interest rates like coming higher and lower, and how people feel about like their personal financial circumstances, and how that's really driving like consumers' feelings about what they're going to spend and how they're going to spend their money. But the interesting thing is that, and it correlates with inflation too, because it's interesting how some of the inflation numbers that came out about how people are feeling, like it shows in this report. So you could see, I know that last year in July, August, the Fed increased rates, and at both points that they increased rates, the consumers felt the pinch when it came to debt, and then improved slowly through a little bit in October, and then really took a leap in November downward, and most consumers felt overburdened by debt. So this survey basically ranked a series of 12 to 15 months of data, and the worst was November. And you know, the striking thing is that I guess that's really what I have seen when we saw rates come up to 8%. People were strapped out and very stressed about their financial situation when it came to debt. It ranked at a 59.6, which was one of the fastest or quickest drops, according to what was read in the survey, that it was one of the steepest declines in the health of Americans dealing with debt. And that's alarming, to say the least, when you see that type of drop. But it steadily had gotten better through January. But now, obviously, with increasing rates, it jumped up to 62.5% in December, January, and then February it's coming back down. The official numbers for February, March, April hadn't been completed yet, but it was, if you look at the graph, it's like it's on the downslope. So as interest rates correlate, people's sentiment about their debt situation deteriorates quite substantially based on a point or two change in interest rates. And that's a really, and I think that's what the Fed is trying to balance out, but this is a really steep decline. From June of last year till November of 23. And then, but it goes along with why I guess some of the inflation numbers peaked up, because people started feeling better about their debt situation back in January, slowly increasing from 60.1 to 62.5.
What does that say?
The man is so clean. Oh, okay. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean.
I can't even read that.
You can't read it?
No, I can't.
And you should be able to see better than me.
I know.
But yeah, it was something that I got to be careful about what I read out loud.
Why?
Because I read out loud. I read the comments out loud. And if it's something that I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to read.
Yeah.
Which could mean, we know sometimes TikTok could be a little.
Oh, there's something else?
I need advice. Well, go ahead. What's the advice you need? What advice do I have? I'm just saying you look sharp. Oh, thank you. I look sharp. Okay.
That's nice.
I'll give you my. Keri's always been interested in fashion tips.
Yeah.
So maybe she could do
I
like
love fashion.
Yeah, she's a. Before she was in this office, she was big into fashion. So.
Yes.
She was.
I work 2 retail jobs.
Eek. 2 retail jobs. There you go.
Same time.
Same time, right? At the same time, you were working too. Yeah. You're a hustler. You definitely don't define Gen Z for sure. But yeah, you were working all weekends, correct?
Yeah. Yes. When I first started working
you
here.
were You were working Saturdays and Sundays, some weeks.
Yeah, I was working here and then at my retail store, and then I always had 2 jobs at once besides right now.
So you had 3 jobs at one time?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I did not.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, that would have been rough to balance out.
Do you all have rent out properties? Are you agents? I am the broker owner, so yes, she is not
I'm not an
licensed.
agent, no.
No, but we do rent out properties. But the big thing is that you got to hear out these stats. So gotcha, he said gotcha.
Okay.
So that's where people are feeling about their financial health. I want to see if this is the last one I want to deal with, because this was a humorous one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
So the other thing is what's the safety numbers? We had talked about this like maybe about 2 weeks ago. We're in Manhattan. I said, what's your feeling? You were out a couple of times, and I said, how do you feel about being out there?
Yeah.
And I really want to know what you guys, like, one of the things that have changed in, I guess, American culture overall is there's a lot more fear involved, and I wonder why that is, but I don't think I have to go too far to find out.
Definitely do.
So what was the findings about people and public spaces, which is a stark contrast to, I guess, when I used to be in New York City a lot more. It was like, I call it the golden age of New York City, which was 2004, 2005. Just before the financial crisis, the city was like in its golden era. You could go down Manhattan Street and like literally eat off the sidewalks. That's how clean it was. I'm here in New York and New Jersey. It's a very good place to do it. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yes.
We're reading a comment.
Yeah, sorry for like bouncing back. We'll be bouncing back and forth based on that. I'm here in New York and New Jersey. It's a very good place to be in to do it. Yes, it is. We're both in both states. We're both in New Jersey and New York. I mean, we sell quite a bit in both.
Yeah.
We're based out of Staten Island, which gives us a very strategic position in the market. So we have a lot to the east, west, but like Staten Island is kind of unique in the sense that, believe it or not, it puts us in a very good position geographically to service New Jersey, because it's like really dead smack in the middle. Like if we were part of New Jersey, we'd be like, this would be the best place to be because our access points. I don't think there's anything more than like, well, maybe the way I drive, more than 2.5 hours away in any direction in New Jersey for us. Where in New York, like, it could be easily 7 to 10 hours if I had to go to Buffalo.
Yeah.
But we're quite a ways away. And again, I'm sorry, folks, we'll be bouncing back and forth. We do get questions. We get quite a bit of questions on TikTok. That's
Yes,
very
we
nice
do.
And keep throwing them out there.
Please, we
we'll
love
answer
answering.
them.
Yes. But yeah, so this question is, how concerned are you about being in public spaces right now for April?
And what did the findings say?
So, about 64% are concerned.
Total. Between
Total.
very concerned and concerned.
Yes, between very concerned and somewhat concerned. And then not at all is at 35%.
So basically, two-thirds of people are concerned for their safety.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. That's more than a majority, and that's.
I would be in there.
You as what? Very concerned or somewhat concerned?
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Not very, just somewhat.
Keri could like fight.
No.
But she's not a fighter. But she could definitely beat some people.
No.
She could like lift weights at the gym probably more than some.
No. I mean, I am part of the 39% that go
Right?
several times a week, so.
She's like a gym rat.
No.
There was a time you were going to the gym almost like every day.
Yeah, I mean, I go like 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah. She's almost married now, so. She goes a little bit less.
No. No.
She's got to see the bow.
No. We go together. It's
Oh, how cute.
yeah.
But anyway, so the core of the thing is that, and you know, this is not broken down by geography, but we know that in New York, there's some really interesting things going on as far as like the fear of being in public spaces.
Yeah.
And like you had said to me that there was some videos of a girl getting hit, right? Like randomly.
Yes. Yeah,
It's like a thing. This is one of the dangerous things about social media is like people like film this stuff. If there's one aspect of social media that's a little bit disheartening is the fact that people use the platform for like a stupid trend thing, and they wind up hurting somebody in the process, which I think they've done some really, they've really kind of blocked this out. But I mean, it's one of the concerns. Obviously, we're live, so you could do a lot of things live that you probably wouldn't want to have live. And there's been several high-profile incidents regarding the live component to social media. But yeah, one of the things is people, and I think the New York City Police Commissioner came out and said that whether it's true or not is that social media heightens people's fear about being in public spaces. Do you think that's true?
Oh, yeah, I definitely think it's true.
So you think people are reacting more to social media than the reality?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I got to debate with you. If that's what you feel, you know better than me. So your take is that people, social media definitely brings things closer. I do think that it's like real-time news being like, the interesting thing is with apps and things like that, like your Citizen app. We have Citizen app and it goes off here.
Oh my God, yeah.
Citizen app, if you're not familiar with it, has been like one of those things that it gives you alerts, especially like, because it geolocates your phone and basically alerts you to what's happening in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like instantly. Like, oh, and then it goes live. They have like these citizen journalists that are running around with their phones.
Yeah.
And they're filming. It. You like it?
I like Citizen, I do.
I'm
always like, there's a fire at. Then I'm sitting there watching.
I guess it makes good for like people looking for like.
People are nosy.
Music. Yeah.
You know, I'm definitely a nosy person when it comes to that stuff.
Is it just that? Hopefully.
Yes. Yeah.
But the big thing is that people aren't feeling as safe about their surroundings as they used to. And the interesting thing is, we did find a study, which I'm not going to go into, is that the reason why people purchase a house, which is an interesting stat we looked at. I don't think we have it here, but I saw it. And one of the things was the main concern about buying a house was the crime in the area.
Oh.
So
yes.
I wonder how that will correlate long term, as market fundamentals may shift backwards a bit here with increasing rates. But they better do a better job, I think, of making people feel a little bit safer. I know that there is a general sentiment that things, and I do think things have improved a little bit from maybe like a year ago. I mean, that's my general sense. But everything is in line with the economy, and I do think that with the economics becomes crime. So, as economics of scale. If you really want to know about economics, you look to the one thing that really defines it, which is crime. Crime and economy go hand in hand. So if you really, if you don't want to listen to the pundits who tell you everything's great all the time, which I don't think that's the case, I do think that at certain points, like, you have to use kind of like the real world, like, which way the wind is blowing. And I think one of the things that sentiment is that with the current state of affairs, people feel a lot more stressed out about their situation, job loss, whatever it may be, and they feel compelled to perform acts of violence or property theft, and that's a problem. And I'm not going to get into the politics of that because that's a dicey subject.
Now, I just thought, people being concerned in public places. Do you think that has stuff to do with anxiety? Like I feel like anxiety is more, like mental health is now on the
Yeah, I do think that.
rise.
Yeah, mental health is like a big, is one of the I mean,
Yeah.
we're very hypersensitive. I mean,
Yeah.
I think generationally, this is a generational thing, and there's a whole generation separating you and I. There's actually a stat there that's quite interesting too in that. But yeah, I think that I don't know. I'm gonna, we'll probably differ on this. I just think that people like where we've become too involved in the emotional side of things to a large degree. I'm not big into it. I mean, look, everybody. I do think people are hypersensitive as a general. Like the nerves are closer to the surface now. I think just think about everything. People overreact and underreact very quickly based on very superficial circumstances. I think that's the number one thing that I see. Like if I experience, like from the time I've been growing up till now, it's like what people see as threats. Like we didn't have cell phones anywhere, and like if you didn't have a working payphone, you walked through neighborhoods that you probably. I remember like going to the city and we didn't have cell phones. And every payphone was ripped out of the side of that thing. I mean, I used to be in New York, and just to kind of put this in, like, there were places in New York that, like, I used to have to pass by abandoned, burnt out buildings.
Wow.
Like, if you went to the Lower East Side, it was not a place that you felt comfortable in. And it was like burnt, like literally, picture like going in and like entire buildings being burnt. And like in a state of disrepair I mean, even my old high school. I actually went to Curtis for a period, my first 2 years of high school. And behind it stood a vacant building that was burnt out for almost like 15 years prior.
Wow.
During the 70s economic downturn, a lot of the stuff that was in the 50s kind of like burnt away. And it was like, New York was like when people think about like where we were and now, I could see where like the differences between like what we see today as being bad. If you haven't experienced that, and that kind of dates myself. It's like if you don't know what that looked like, it's very hard to understand where we came from to where we are. And in most people's idea about like how bad things really get, it was unsafe because it was. My father was a transit cop in New York City, and he used to say they literally, there were shootings in the subway all the time. Like people would there would be like, there'd be incidents. I mean, I remember like there'd be blackouts where like there was mass looting and like there was no communication. It was New York was a different place and much different from what we're used to. But like I always say, water creates a new level. So one of the things about living in New York and whether people feel safe or not, there was whole movies developed around the state of affairs in New York and how like dark it was at one point. Now you can't find an abandoned building, not yet. I mean, I don't know if that's coming because the office space, I think office vacancies, which is the new kind of the silent crisis a bit. I think it's somewhere around 40% of offices are unused in Manhattan. 40% of the office vacancy rate, which is
wow. 40%. That is a big number, especially in the city. It used to be like 8, 7, 6, 5. In the city,
like
there's
very low vacancy. It was very like. But now after COVID, a lot of these come up. But it's one of the things that we're not going to address here because that's a long-winded problem with banks and holding commercial loans because retail space is on the decline and office space is on the decline. But that has nothing to do with crime to be per se. It has to do with COVID. But what's happening is that it's leaving a void in some places. So I think that's why you see a lot more, maybe less activity on desolate spaces at night. I haven't been down to downtown Manhattan, and it's got to be about, at night anyway, in about 15, 16 years downtown. And I can't imagine, it was desolate back then, and there was a lot of businesses, street businesses, because they catered to all the office workers. And since the change in COVID, I don't know how that is. Nobody knows what it's like down there. Like where it's like in Manhattan now, I don't know. But I can't explain like, where everything is as far as like
Yeah,
what
I
people
wouldn't.
are feeling.
I'm not really too familiar with where everything is in
Yeah.
the city.
Well,
I don't really go there a lot
No.
because I'm scared.
Well, those $300 plate things that you're entitled to go to every now and again.
Oh. Yeah. One-time thing.
Do they watch this? I hope not.
I hope not too.
You said it was really good anyway.
It was fun. It was fun.
We don't.
It was fun.
That's not the point of this. But it's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap to go out anymore.
We talked about the $1,000 date night you had in Madison
Yeah.
Square Garden.
Yeah.
Jeez, it cost
Rangers.
you $1,000 to go to a Ranger game for one night with transportation and barely eating French fries and chicken
A hot dog.
and a hot dog. $1,000. That's the state of things today. So that gives you an idea about why people are stressed out a bit.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to change, guys. I hate to tell you this. I've said it before. I don't think that's going to change. But
Well, this next stat
oh yes,
kind of ties in with
Yeah.
that, right?
yeah, it does.
So it's, are you personally more stressed about the state of the world or your finances? And 35, which was the highest percentage, says that they're more worried about the state of the world. And 23% are concerned with their finances.
Which goes into what the mental health thing that you were talking about before. If you kind of like look at this and you say to yourself, this is an interesting stat about where you feel more stressed about in the state of things. Both is 30%.
Yeah.
Both, I mean, neither is only 12. So most people, 78% of people are stressed to a certain degree about world affairs and their personal finances. There's a great deal. And this study points out that people are pretty darn stressed about their current situations.
Yeah.
This is a quick survey. I mean, it's not a huge litmus test for how many people were involved in the survey, but it's definitely finances in the state of the world have been the two largest concerns for people. The state of the world has actually eclipsed finances. 35%. 35% of people, so 1/3 of people are like, they're stressed out about the state of the world.
Yeah, which...
Are you stressed out about the state of the world?
I'm not like stressed,
Right.
but I think about it,
Okay. It's not
Like, there's a lot going on
Yeah.
this year, specifically.
They're banning
also.
TikTok, and
Yeah.
we're not.
Stressed about that.
We're all stressed about that. I'll be very upset. Very upset.
What about you, though? Are you stressed about the state of the world?
I'm always stressed about the state of the world because, this is like, because I'm older and you see things through a different lens, and it's very hard to kind of. I'm more stressed about the state of the world, and definitely stressed about the state of the financial, because I don't know, I just, you like to give warning to people. I mean, and it's like, there's a disconnect, and I just think I'm just down to fundamentals. If you don't see what's fundamentally happening, I'm the type of person, if you know me, I know you know me, I'm big into data.
Yes.
Data and stats, and it's and I can read into things deeper, and it's not the best thing in the world. They always say ignorance is bliss to a certain degree, but it's I mean, I guess for that reason you get more stress
when you
because I think today like what you come to know or learn about the way things work do not look right on paper. If I could say that, I don't know if you were to do a study and like physics has a certain end result. Like if you do a physical calculation by calculator, you come up with this certain weight moves a certain direction, a certain speed. It's supposed to have like a result that you could calculate, and I'm used to that. And I don't feel like I'm in a world that's like the equations that you come to know. And they've always made this debate about 1 + 1 doesn't necessarily equal 2. And there is some degree, there was like this debate, like there was like this whole thing like, oh, well, 1 + 1 doesn't necessarily equal 2.
What?
Yes, there was a whole big thing about this.
I didn't even know that. How is that a...
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where like, it's like, there are no calculable results to anything. That's what we believe. I don't know, whatever it is. But I'm of the old school, and I still believe that everything is still based off fundamentals. In order for a tree to go, you need water, and I like to keep things simple.
Yeah.
Because the simple is where you really get the truth from.
Yeah.
So if you need water for a tree, you have to do 1 + 1 equals a growing tree, and you can't, and that's not a deniable science. It has to happen that way. But I do think that the way the economics of things look, I do become stressed out because I do the math and the math and the math and the math.
Yeah.
And my brain is kind of like a math, when it doesn't have the equation figured out, it just keeps running. Mm-hmm. And I'm always trying to equate to running. So it's like, okay, well, I'm running through data and I'm running through data. It doesn't make sense. Keep going back at it. I tend to be that kind of person in general. It's not a good thing, but I have to, I find things that have better results like ChatGPT.
Yes, big fan.
Keri can tell you about my late night habits with ChatGPT.
Yep.
But anyway, it's a changing world, and I just think that people are stressed about not making sense of everything, and I think I'm there with you. I don't know how to put it. I'm there with you because it's definitely a strange time.
Yeah.
But you'll come to know you're like my son's age. Well, you're a little bit older. Yeah. Won't put you quite there, but like I mean, you're like 24. Yeah. And like you guys, like the sample size is small, so you can kind of build your how do you say, you build your evidence over time, and it may be different from mine. So I don't know. From my perspective, probably my generation looked at the older generation and said, "Hey, you guys are backwards. We need to change the way we do things." I change, but I'm pretty adaptable. I'm pretty savvy when it comes to technology. I'm pretty adaptable. So I think from that standpoint, I'm very fluid. So it's not like I get stuck in my own ways. Yeah. We're still going to use typewriters. Okay. Nothing like that. But I just think that when it comes to economics, it's a pretty fundamental thing. So stressed, not stressed. I don't know. I would say people are stressed.
Yeah, I think majority is stressed. I mean, at least my group of friends were just stressed.
Yeah?
Yeah. About everything.
About the state of relationships.
No.
We can talk about that stat.
No. Do we have less that stat?
Less and less people getting married? Well, we're going to talk about marriage in a minute. One ancillary fact about marriage, which was an interesting stat.
Yes.
One that hasn't been adjusted for inflation. This is a stat, guys. First, let's get to this stat, and then we'll end up with that. This is one of my April Fools. This is an April Fool's thing because it's April, and I want to get into another interesting stat. I was listening to stats today. My favorite. If I could just read stats all day, I think I just have a ball with it because that's like my thing. But what did the wedding survey say?
I don't have this one, but I could see it right here.
Where is it?
Right here.
Oh, okay. This is great. So if you're getting married, obviously the cost of getting married is high up on the scale of financial distress.
I would,
How much does it cost now to get married?
No idea. Would not know.
Someone has to give me a haul. Like, does anybody know what it costs to rent a hall now? What's a plate? For goodness sake, a Sweet 16.
Oh yeah.
I've heard Sweet 16s go for like 16 grand, 20 grand.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Just for a Sweet 16. I didn't have a Sweet 16, but that's.
We gotta talk to your mom about that. We gotta
No,
do
I
something for
didn't
25.
I
yeah.
didn't want one. Oh my god, 25. Yeah.
Relax, Keri. It's not 55. Which, my sister turned 55. Oh,
Happy birthday.
happy birthday. She's happy birthday to my sister.
Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow.
No. My both sisters are born 2 days. Tomorrow is my younger sister.
Yes.
And the 25th was my older sister. So I have two sisters.
Well, happy birthday, guys.
So happy birthday, guys, and they probably won't catch this because I'm long-winded and stuff like that. But let's get to the numbers because we're talking. So this is an interesting thing.
Yes.
Go ahead, shoot.
So it's how much do you spend on a wedding gift? Now.
This is bad.
49% gets under $150 gifts.
So $150 or less for half of respondents.
Yeah.
What's the respondents that say I don't give?
Yeah. So there's I don't give gifts for weddings. That's 17% right there.
20% of people don't give a thing.
That's.
Is that wrong? That's a survey that came off of this latest report.
Yeah. How do you?
So you just show up.
Oh yeah. How do you just show up?
That's because you're born in New York, and everything in New York comes with a price tag.
Yeah.
So you're going to show up somewhere. You're going to show up with an open wallet.
Oh yeah. I have graduation parties this month. I'm like, I need to give them money.
Oh yeah, there you go. Graduations.
Oh,
But it's like, so if you're getting married and you have to be. This was one of the survey questions that I found.
Yeah, you like this one. You were
Because I was like,
shocked.
I was shocked that it was under $150.
Yeah.
That a New York wedding, from what I understand, is. I've been to a few, boy, and they're like, I think I was one. It was like, it had to be about $450 a head.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was insane.
Wow.
But I went to a few that have been over the top. I mean, and it's just, I can't imagine. I went to a lot of weddings lately. This year I went to more weddings. Oh no. I was going to leave that there. I've been to more weddings this year than I think I've been to. I thought my 20s and 30s would be a time. But I'm going to more. Maybe it's a sign of my age.
50?
Yeah, it's like I'm getting to that age where my cousins' kids.
Yeah.
I've reached the point of marriage.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm that table that I remembered when I was getting married. I was a table of the people who, that were in the prime. I'll say that. Oh. That's where I am now. So.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I can't wait to start going to weddings, my friends' weddings.
Are they getting married?
No one's engaged yet.
I know. My wife. We were engaged she was 22.
Oh.
I was a little bit older.
22.
I won't say.
But yeah, so almost 50% is under $150 for
And
weddings.
almost 20% is zero.
Yeah.
Or almost. So that's our stats. You said there was one other stat, which is for you April Fool's pranks. So we're going to leave you off with this.
Yes.
Okay, this is a funny thing. If you guys about your economics and about your future outlooks, this was a survey that was done about your prospective outlooks if based on April Fool's like people who are, what's that? I'm sure, New York, New Jersey.
No, that was
very good.
already. I thought that was a new
Oh,
one, too.
okay. I thought it was something there. All right. But
Yeah.
anyway, the big thing is that let's go into this. This is the 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
So, guys, everybody, this is April, and we like to do the final stat, which is something a little bit more humorous.
Yeah.
So, why don't you could take this one
All
from
right.
1 to 5.
All right. So, this is 5 unexpected consumer insights about April Fool's Day pranksters.
So, for all you April Fools, we're capping this off with your. We're capping this off with what it says about the pranksters in your life and their consumer spending
Yeah, so
habits.
people who
We've
are
actually got
prank-
down to this, guys. So go ahead, shoot.
Yeah. So, the first one is pranksters are more optimistic about the economy.
So there you go. So the prankster in your life is more, I guess, optimistic as I would assume it's a general.
Yeah, as a general. Maybe not just about the economy, but this is just what this says anyway. But
It's a survey.
yeah, it says nearly 80% think the economy will stay the same or get better in the next 6 months.
Roughly 60% of non-pranksters.
Yeah.
So you people that don't have a sense of humor, I have a sense of humor. This year I didn't come up with something good. I didn't do my proper assessments. I used to be so good at this.
Aw.
Yeah, I gotta
I didn't really prank anybody this year also.
You're not the type of person that could pull off a prank.
Well, like I would call
You're
my...
so matter of fact that it's like I can't see like you holding your.
No, like I'd
You can show your hand too fast.
I
You're
do.
the type of person that'd be like, "No, Keri, you're not fooling me."
I know.
I could probably do it,
Yeah.
but I don't know. That's not your personality.
No, I'm not really a prankster.
You're too easy to read.
Yeah.
We always know.
But I'm very gullible, so it's easy to prank me, though.
I missed the opportunity. I completely whiffed.
Yeah. I do.
Oh, and how could it be possible? Who doesn't have social media? Jeez. At your age.
I know.
It's like
Crazy.
you got a home run there, kid. What else could I say? If I couldn't even get you to prank on that, it's like, what am I doing? Anyway.
But yeah, so that's
That's
number
the
1.
2 is what?
2 is
Celebrity gossip.
percent share celebrity gossip at least occasionally on social media, compared to 15% of those not playing a prank on April Fool's Day. So I guess they're more into celebrity gossip pranksters. Which makes sense, I guess. Because like I could be like, oh my god, Taylor Swift and Travis broke up. But I could be like, April
But
Fools.
you are in tune to what she's doing.
I am.
You're just one of those people who just, you got your, I'm a prankster, but I don't really pay attention to celebrity gossip too much.
I pay.
There's too much gossip internal
Yeah.
to deal with the celebrity gossip.
Yeah. You know, I love celebrity gossip, though.
Keri,
I do.
like talking. Anyway.
I like celebrity gossip.
Yeah.
I follow a couple of like exposing celebrity accounts on like
You do?
Twitter.
Oh.
But
No, I don't follow that. I can't. No.
So number 3 is those playing a prank are nearly twice as likely to love spicy food. 41% versus 24% of non-pranksters.
You don't like spicy food?
No, I do.
You do?
I love spicy food. Yeah, I like jalapeno margs.
No way.
Yes, way. I like
You don't
spicy.
seem yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
There's some surprises here. I'm going to learn a few things.
I know.
So these are April Fools. This is April Fools. Things about pranksters. It's April. We're closing the segment out on this because obviously we don't want to keep everything dark all the time.
Yeah, you know, I
Like
like
to
to.
lighten things up a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you like spicy food?
It's seasonal. I don't know. Sometimes I like it, and sometimes I don't.
That's okay.
But I like stuffed peppers, stuffed hot peppers, like the
Stuffed
But
peppers.
I didn't realize I had stuffed peppers, and they have breadcrumbs.
Oh no.
I just realized that.
Right now?
Son of a gun. Yes,
Really? When did you have stuffed peppers?
Easter. Not stuffed pepper. The ones the hot peppers. The stuffed hot peppers. But they do. I forgot.
Oh, the poppers they're called, like jalapeno poppers, or
Yeah, it's like that.
something
But
like
it's I don't know what the hell I think it's stuffed hot peppers. I think that's what
All
it is.
right. Well, you can't.
Oh man.
It's okay.
Oh, no wonder why.
Just don't think about it.
Yeah. Next.
A third of April Fool's Day pranksters are considering selling their home in the next 6 months, significantly outpacing those not playing a prank, 7%.
So you're selling a house.
Come to us.
Yeah. You'll see Keri.
Yeah.
Keri will be doing the home talk.
Yes.
You'll be maybe you'll do autographs when you do them. Right?
Maybe, yeah.
You'll know them throughout Staten Island as a stack girl.
Keri Q.
Keri Q. She's practicing her signature on the paper. So my thing is so a third of April. Wow. So 30% of April Fool Day. So this survey was done this month. So most people, they're more inclined to be selling in the next 6 months. Mm-hmm. So that puts me and you in the same category. Say yes, Paul. We'll be ready for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think
You could
so.
be selling your house?
No.
You have to have a house to sell.
I don't have that.
We could sell your parents' house.
No. We love that house.
We'll make a cot.
Imagine. Oh my god.
We'll make an enclosure so you can kind of
Oh, thank you. Work from home.
a good TV there. We'll change that to a regular TV and then.
Yeah, actually, it doesn't sound that bad, actually.
No, I don't think you want to do that. Anyway, so
And
the final thing.
one more, number 5. There are more than twice as likely to be Red Bull fans. Pranksters.
Just about as likely to be draw hearts on your paper.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. You know, I totally didn't even notice those while talking.
That's you nervous.
Yeah.
She's,
I'm trying words.
she's practicing her signature, her script, her autograph.
Yes.
Jeez. Trying to recall things is getting harder and harder. I don't know. I don't want to call it. But anyway, that is how we're going to wrap things up.
Yeah, with the pranksters.
The pranksters, you definitely got the love from me because it seems like they seem to be a little bit more well-adjusted.
Yeah.
So Keri, start doing some pranks.
I know, right? No, I can't.
Yeah, you got to. I guess it requires like a little bit of a coldness to do it. You have to cold calculated because you have to have a stone cold face to do that kind of stuff. I think that's really.
Yeah, I have a poker face. Like you'll know. Yeah. I don't have a poker face. I meant I don't have one. Right. Yeah.
I think you don't, but I think you do, and I think you don't.
Okay.
I think when I first knew you, you definitely have more of a poker face. As time has gone on, it's less. You're much more animated than I thought. So you learn people you learn demeanors.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's our report for tonight. Hopefully you had any questions. Feel free. We'll weigh those in. And check out our lives on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
Yeah.
All social media outlets. But that's where we're going to finish this up, guys.
Yep.
Have a great weekend. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
All right. Ciao.
Bye, guys.